sharing live stream. Okay, are we live? Let's check if any of you guys, hopefully we're live on Facebook. Let me just do a little check-in. Any of you guys that are hooking into Facebook there, are we live? Well, I've just got a notification that we're live. So hello, everybody. How are you? I've got some special guests with me today for today's live, and I am earlier than I'm normally live. So for those of you that have found us earlier, sort of welcome. And those of you catching the replay, welcome as well. These amazing people here, some of the people in my VIP program, and we're bringing you a special training today, jam-packed, full of mindset matters. And what I mean by that is we're all going to share tips with you regarding stuff to help you get out of your own way and be more successful online, because this is a difficult journey when we're entrepreneurs. We're responsible for our own actions. We've got to get out of our own way. We've got to motivate ourselves. We've got to get out of our comfort zone and all those kind of things. And as you'll hear me say a lot, it's not really the skills, the online skills, like the social media stuff and the algorithms and engagement and stuff. It really comes down to us. What we do, what we don't do, what's in our way, what excuses we're making, all of that kind of stuff. So it's really important to be dialed in on all that stuff going on up here. So to the crew that are with me on the screen, how are you guys? Are you excited to be here? Say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Great to see you.
Awesome.
Very excited.
Thank you for joining me here today, guys. Like, I work very closely with the crew here in their businesses, and we talk about lots of stuff, lots of technical stuff, lots of mindset stuff to really move forward in their business. So they've got experience to draw from, which hopefully what they're sharing today can help you in your businesses. If there's anyone joining us new for the very first time, if we haven't met before, my name's Helen Martin and I'm your online crew captain. No hat today, because it's all about the collaboration today. But I help entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, direct sellers, those in network marketing, MLM, bring their business online, leverage social media so you can learn how to attract people to you instead of chasing people, basically. And all these amazing ladies here are doing a very similar thing. So we're all on the same journey together. We're all in the industry as well, building network marketing teams. So what we're bringing to you today, we are certainly experiencing ourselves, and it's not an easy journey. It's who can relate to that? Who's listening? Like, put it in the comments. It's a difficult journey because you don't turn up 9 to 5, have a job description and get a paycheck at the end of the week. It's not that guarantee. So sometimes it's difficult to motivate ourselves. Sometimes things don't go according to plan. Sometimes life gets in the way, or a lot. And unless we really control that from our perspective, it can derail you, or it can actually slow your progress if you're not in control of that. So we're going to share with you a number of tips today to hopefully help you think about, different ways to get out of your own way. Okay. So I can't see any comments at the moment. I'll have a look on the screen when I stop talking, but I'm going to get started. But before I do that, I just want to acknowledge. There's a new word. I'm always coming up with some kind of new word. Acknowledge. So I'm not sure where that came from, but let's acknowledge. We've got Laurie Endress, and this is my screen, so your screen might look differently. We've got Laurie Endress, Megan Ireland, we've got Beth Frederick, we've got Heather Edmondson, and we've got Cherie Woodard. So welcome, guys. These are some of the people in my VIP program, and they've volunteered their time today to come and share their wisdom and experience with you guys. So we hope you get some good tips out of today. So thank you, guys, for being here with me today. It's just awesome to collaborate with you. So I'm going to get the conversation started with something, and if you've been around me for a while, you would have heard this, a number of times, but you need to hear this over and over again. And we've just had a vet pop on as well, so welcome to the call, Vet. So this is how humans work. This is what we've really got to understand, especially as an entrepreneur, in the way that we're wired from a baby. So from the minute that you are born, your brain and your body is designed to keep you safe. Now, in doing that, when we get older, we will resist things that are uncomfortable. And as we get older, that just gets worse. So the more uncomfortable we feel, the more we resist it. And we're like, no, I don't want to do that. I'd rather sit on the couch and watch TV than go and prospect some people, because that's really uncomfortable and I might get rejected. And I don't know if I've got enough self-belief to do this. And what if they don't answer, and all that kind of stuff that runs through our head. So your brain, all of us, our brain is wired to keep us safe. And so what it will naturally do is talk you out of doing things that are going to be good for you in your business. The things that make you uncomfortable, doing live video, prospecting people that are on, your chicken list that you're scared to, talk to. Beth, you were talking about that the other day. Just doing the things, putting yourself out there, making yourself vulnerable on social media, talking about personal stuff on social media. It's not natural to any of us to do that. We don't get born in, well, kids are now, but you don't get born, as I said, kids are now, with this as part of your, it's not a body part. This is a phone, by the way, if you can't see that. This is not a body part. It's not natural for us to show up on social media and share everything and all that we are on social media. Although kids now are doing, a lot more of that. So it's uncomfortable for us to do that. And whatever is uncomfortable for you to do, your brain is going to naturally, subconsciously, without you realizing it, going, it's okay. Go and do the dishes. Go put the washing on. Go play with the kids. Go play with the grandkids. Go and do something else and avoid what you know you need to do, because that's a bit uncomfortable. And you don't even realize it's happening. It's just what your brain and body is designed to do to protect you. So to get out of your own way with this particular issue is you have to have a really high level of awareness of that when you're avoiding things, when you're making excuses, when you let life, control you instead of you controlling your life. You know how it goes, guys. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. You have to take control of your life and your business and be really realistic. If you're not where you want to be in your business today, why is that? What is it that you're not doing, or what is it that you're avoiding? But you keep yourself busy. A lot of you are really, really busy and you're learning. And you're stuck in learning mode, and you're watching this video and that video, and you're reading this book and you're doing that, and you're busy, you're learning, but you're avoiding the things that actually make your business grow. Does that ring true to any of you? And that's because that's the uncomfortable stuff. Some of you, probably never done a live video in your life because it's uncomfortable and it just scares you. So what do we do about this? You've got to talk yourself out of that. It's like, thank you, brain. Thank you for keeping me safe. I hear you, but this is not what I want for me. I want more. I want more success. I want to build a bigger team. I want to impact more lives. I want to generate more income for my family and have a legacy for my children and my grandchildren. You've got to physically tell your brain that thank you for protecting me, but I'm going to do this anyway because I know this is what it takes. I know I need to get uncomfortable to actually get successful, because success is on the other side of the comfort zone. You all know that. Okay, so this is first and foremost something that has to be very high on your radar mentally, is that even subconsciously, when you don't even realize your brain is doing it, you are avoiding things. You are doing dishes, you are doing washing, you are checking emails, you're scrolling Facebook, instead of doing the actual income producing activities and things that are going to move your business forward. And that's just life. Okay, but recognize it, own it, plan otherwise. Go, okay, I know that, but that's not what I want for me. I don't want to be one of those people that's comfortable. I want to earn more money. I want to impact more people in my life. I want to leave a legacy for my children and my grandchildren. So I'm going to have to step up my game and do things that are uncomfortable. You need to tell yourself that and plan accordingly. Okay, it's the only way you're going to get out of your own way. Okay, so I really wanted to share that with you because it'll make or break you if you don't realize that and talk yourself outside of that comfort zone, because it's far better to sit on the couch and it's winter here where I am in Australia, and just cuddle up and, watch something meaningless, then go and do things for your business. Like you just naturally do things that are comfortable. So you've got to push yourself to do things that are not comfortable. And you don't have a boss. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't have a boss over your shoulder going, come on, you're not getting paid this week if you don't do your work. It's all up to you. And unfortunately, who's the one person we're okay with letting down the most? Ourselves. That's the sad part about this. You'll help everybody, your kids, your husband, your wife, people around you. You could be known as the most helpful person to everybody else, but you're left last. Your business is left last. Your health is left last. That's, what a lot of people's reality is. So you've got to put yourself first and what your needs are and what your goals are. Okay. So that's enough for me, but really, really important in relation to sort of getting out of your own way and recognizing that's just the way it is. Okay. So on my screen, it might look different to your screen if you're watching us live, but I've got Laurie on my top left. So I'm going to go to Laurie next, and we're going to quickly go around, and these guys are going to draw from their experiences and share with you their tips and what's helped them, manage this weird wide world of entrepreneurial ship. Is that a word? It is now. Just get used to me. I make up my own language. Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Laurie, go for it.
Hi, guys. Oh, man. Thank you, Helen, for giving us this opportunity. I am thrilled to be here. So my name's Laurie Andrus, if nobody has met me before, and I have an e-commerce business that I am in the trenches with you all in the health and wellness industry. And I have been following Helen I figured out the other day, it's been a little over 2 years already. I can't believe that. But I could keep you here all night on the things that I have learned over the last couple of years. But I have three things that I want to address really quickly. And I don't know if some of you saw the live a while back where Helen was talking about her son was watching TV and the Undercover Billionaire was on. And she was talking about how interesting it was. Well, I literally binge watched the first season all night long. It was like on a Friday night. And when I finally rolled over, went to bed, the sun was coming up. Anyway, so I watched that first season, and then I have also worked my way through the second season. But unbelievable the things that I pulled from that silly show. It was just crazy. So I want to share three things that really stuck out to me. So if you don't know about the show, just real quick, I think the first one was Glenn Stearns, and then the second season was Grant Cardone and a couple other ladies, Carlotti or something was her last name. But anyway, they're dropped into a city they've never been in before. They have $100. They have a cell phone with 0 contacts in it and an old truck. And they have 90 days to build a business worth $1 million. Okay. And now, granted, the first thing I want to mention is they've all done this before. Obviously, they've all been very successful. And so my first thought was, well, duh, they're going to do this because they've already done it before. But they are at a terrible disadvantage because they can't use any of their money. They can't use any of their contacts. All they can use is what's up here and what they have learned through the process of building these other multi-million, billion-dollar businesses. Okay. So the first thing that right off the bat, they were unsure about their situation, but they were never, not for a split second, were they unsure about themselves. They knew to their core that this was something that they could do. Yes, they were going to run into issues or whatever, but it was the belief in themselves, not necessarily how they were going to do this thing, but how they believed in themselves. That just like smacked me in the face. The second thing was they never stopped figuring. Okay. So when they would like get into a situation, because they had to figure out, I mean, even like what business they were going to build. You know, was it going to be like a health and wellness thing, or was it going to be a marketing thing? So the first thing they did when they got there, every one of them made sure that they uh got into contact with like the big business owners in town, the who's who, because they knew that those people were going to have contacts here and there, and they were going to go everywhere. So that was the first thing they did. And they never stopped looking for opportunities. Okay. Because they had no idea if they were going to go left or right, up or down. But they met these people, they had conversations, they kept their minds open. And, you know, in a couple of different situations, they thought they were going to go one way and they wound up going completely a different direction because of the people and the opportunities that they ran into. And so when they saw those opportunities and the possibilities, they just started figuring, okay, well, if I do this, can I do that? And if I do that, then this could lead me here. So they never stopped figuring. They never stopped thinking or looking for the opportunities. And then the third and huge thing was they are absolute aces at pivoting. There were so many things that came up during both seasons that literally waylaid them. I mean, they like back to square one. Something that they had set up, it was going in a certain direction and they had it figured out. They knew what they were going to do. They knew who they were going to use, how they were going to do it. And something happened and it took them all the way back to square one. And there were moments in the show where a couple times where they even told him to turn the cameras off because it's like, okay, I just need a break from this, and I got to figure out, you know, how am I going to get out of this? And they would take that time, they would step back, look at their situation, and just take another step and just start going in a different direction. And they figured out how to pivot. And so for me in my business, one, those are the three things that I want to focus on. I want to be able to believe in myself to the core that this is something I can do. And it may be really messy at times, but it's still something that I can do because I know I believe in myself. And just to never stop looking for opportunities or, okay, that didn't work. What else can I try? And, you know, then just the being able to pivot. When I first started following Helen, man, something had happened and it would knock me out for, you know, 2, 3, 4 days. And Helen would say, you know, just that's fine. I understand that you feel that way. It's okay to feel that way. Just don't stay there. So, yeah, those are my 3 tips. Believe in yourself. Don't ever stop looking for opportunities. That didn't work. What else can I try? And pivot, be able to pivot. So there you go.
Nailed it. Love that. Now, I didn't mean to send you on an all-night binging of that show, but I'm glad you got out of it what I did, because it derailed me for a few hours. I was fascinated by it. And that belief side of it, like in the same video that I shared that live, which is what Laurie first mentioned, I also shared this belief thing. Like my mentor was telling me, have you ever known somebody to be quite well off and then broke? And then they get quite well off again, and then they might be broke again, but then they're quite well off again. That's because they believe to the core when they've got nothing, they still don't feel like they've got nothing. They know they're going to get themselves out of it. They just know that they've got the skills and the determination and the belief that they're going to be successful again. And that's why you see entrepreneurs fail forward and have really big mistakes. And obviously the show highlighted that as well, Laurie, but the pivoting side of it. And I say this a lot here. You're all going to go through stuff that is terrible in your lives. You know, from your children, your family, grief, health, whatever it is, there's always going to be things that are going to challenge you. And that's okay. And feel it, like Laurie said, but how quickly you pivot out of it is what's important. It's not that you're ever going to be perfect or you're ever going to be happy all the time. It's unrealistic to think that. But how quickly you pivot out of your situation is what's really important here. And that's what those billionaires are fantastic at. So I'm glad I'm not glad that you binged all night till the sun came up, but I'm glad you got a lot of lessons out of that. And thank you for sharing that, because your belief is everything, guys. It's not the funnel. It's not Instagram. It's not TikTok. It's not Clubhouse. It's not Facebook. That's not going to make you successful. You guys and what goes through here is what is going to make you successful. So this is just so important. So awesome sharing. Thank you, Laurie.
Yep.
Now on the other side of me, I've got Megan. So Megan, take it away. Just unmute yourself there.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm on the opposite side of the world from Laurie. So as you can see, I'm Megan and I'm from Adelaide in South Australia. So I'm in the same part of the world as Helen. And I'm going to chat a little bit about self-confidence. And I'm doing that because I used to say I struggle with self-confidence, but now I'm saying that I'm becoming an expert in talking about self-confidence, because that's how we have to look at it. Otherwise, we are just going to fall in a heap all the time. So quite often when we're thrown a challenge, it's because we need to become an expert in that area so that we can actually teach that to other people and to help them out of their challenges. So when we have that self-confidence, it's when we have that complete trust in ourselves, we trust our own judgment and our abilities, we value ourselves and feel worthy. And these are things that I have had challenges in. And the other thing is regardless of what anybody else thinks of you, you don't care, because it's actually none of your business what anybody else thinks of you. As long as you have that self-belief and self-confidence, it won't matter and it won't throw you as much. So I don't know if you've ever heard, there's a saying, someone said it to me a long time ago, it's the holes in the lace that make it perfect. So it's like our imperfections are actually what make us perfect. So if we're seen as doing everything 100% perfectly all the time, people get, I guess, a bit scared and a bit put off from that. Whereas if they can see your imperfections and see that you are just human and we are all actually going through similar sorts of things, then people actually are drawn to that. So I guess showing ourselves in that light is it's a good thing, because it shows that we are human. So I don't know, these are feelings that I have on and off. I have feelings of not being good enough. I don't deserve to have everything that I want, or I'm unworthy. And these feelings hold us back. So you've just got to get to the core of what it is that is making you feel that way. And it can take time, so you can go back and forward. In the beginning of my journey, I would say that I wasn't moving forward at all. Then I went from moving, one step forward, 3 steps back, and then eventually it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So instead of looking at it as, I just keep on going back, it's recognize I'm actually moving forward. I'm not going 3 steps back anymore. I'm only going 2 steps back, and I'm actually moving 1 step forward. So if we can do that, then you can actually start to look at the positives of that and start to then just continue to work and unravel the reasons why you are stuck. And you'll stop looking at from a negative perspective and start seeing the positive side of it. And if you were to look at people that are really, really successful in this industry, they've generally been in the industry for many years before they've been successful. And that means that they've actually been working on themselves, and they've been doing that personal and professional development for many years. We don't see that. We just see the end result, and we just want to be where they are. So it's sitting back and not comparing yourself to those other people, and just seeing that we just have to run our own race, run our own journey. And then you'll eventually start to get where they are. But it can take years. And we've just got to, I guess, get to that understanding that this isn't an overnight success thing. This is a journey that can last for years. And if you can get past that, then you'll be successful, whatever it is you try and do. I've got a couple of different behaviours that show, like if you're somebody that is confident, you're more likely to do what you believe is right, even if other people put you down. And you're more willing to take risks and challenges, and you will admit your mistakes, which is one of the biggest things, because if you can be aware and admit when you do something wrong, you're going to be able to actually get in there and fix it and do what it is you need to do. And people are going to appreciate you for that. Whereas if you're lacking that self-confidence, you are worrying about what other people think. And so then you're doing things to please other people instead of what it is you need to be doing for yourself. And you tend then to stay in your comfort zone. And we all know, I certainly have done it, and I'm sure everybody here on the call has done it, staying in our comfort zone because we're fear of that failure and we're avoiding taking the risk that we need to take. And the other thing that people do that lack that self-confidence is they'll hide their mistakes instead of admitting what it is that they are doing, I guess, maybe not necessarily wrong, but they're not admitting what changes they need to make to get to where they need to be. So I guess if we can be continually doing professional and personal development, looking at, I guess, getting right down to the core, having a look at what it is that is really going on. And it's something that we can't necessarily always see straight away because it can be so deep-seated in our subconscious. They say that our brains are sort of developed by the time at the age of 7. We've got those core feelings and emotions set, and so it's about going right back and trying to work out what it is in that time. And it can be something so minute that someone has said to you or something you've seen, and so sometimes it can take a long time to actually get to that core element of what it is that's causing you to I guess keep going back to that same issue that you have. So I've also got a couple of things that you can do to change like your words, so that you it's not going to necessarily stop you from having that negative self-talk or the negative self-belief, because it is something we all have, whether we like it or not. We are human, and we will all go through at times where we, I guess, talk negative to ourselves, but it's about trying to change the words that we use so that we can actually get out of that quicker and get into the positive self-talk.
Megan,
so, yep.
Just before you go into those two things,
yeah,
I've got an issue with my Zoom and it's going to cut off in 4 minutes, apparently.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, we're going to have part 1 and part 2, guys. I love technical difficulties. So before you go into your 2 things, we're going to jump out. So those of you watching live, that this will finish in a second, and then I want you to come back into wherever you're watching, whether that's on my business page or my social media group, because we're going to resume part 2 straight away. I don't know what's going on with Zoom. I do Zoom all the time and do this, but something has gone wrong and it's about to cut out on us. So we're going to end part 1. I'm going to stop. We're all going to hook in again, so just jump straight back in, guys, and I will broadcast live again onto the page in the group, and Megan can finish off with her 2 things. Gotta love technical challenges. Okay, so we'll be back for part 2 in a second. Okay, bye.